manager. How's it going?
Anyway, this is with their I think it's hotel.
Yeah. Last.
Shut up and sit down.
It's a beautiful Tuesday night here in Forest Park, live from Field 1 at the Park District of Forest Park. We've got Menace, we've got 40 Deuce, and that's just going to kick off Game 1 of our doubleheader tonight. We've got Wolfpack and Born Divine playing after this, but Menace, the home team, in the field right now. We'll go through the lineups real quick before we get things underway. So defensively for Menace, it's going to be Chris, Sal, and George in the outfield. Greg, Cree, Joe, Dan, and Matt in the infield. Roach behind the dish. And then Brian on the mound. For 40 Deuce, it's going to be Thor, Josh, Tony, Lou, George, Hector, Winslow, Montez, Jonathan, and Nava. So Thor leading things off here. Hoping to bring a little lightning to the top of the order. Happy to have you all with us, though. Like I said, live from the Park District of Forest Park, August 5th. Park District Summer in full swing. Thor rolls that one up the middle to Brannigan. Brannigan throws across. Gets Thor by a half a step. Good hustle down the line, but Brannigan got rid of it quickly. So one down here for Josh. Hope everyone's having a great day. Knuckleball there for strike one. Popped over to the right side. Matt Scott makes the catch. Quick out number two. Hopping over to chat real quick. We had Jim Macy yelling first, checking in from New Orleans once again. Luis Calderon says, let's go Menace, Roach, Cree, and Manny. And then, of course, Peoria Matt over on Twitch says, hey there. So Tony, the number 3 hitter here with 2 down. Hits that up the middle. Crosdale gets a hand on it. But that's all they can do. 2-out single there. Tony hit it hard. Brian threw his hand out, knocked it over. Unfortunately, no defenders there to make the play. So runner on first here for Lou. That one from Lou over Cree's head into left center, chasing it back. They're going to wave Tony home. Brannigan holds no throw to 4. Roach kind of shrugging there, but nobody calling for the throw. At 4 allows 40 Deuce to strike first. Runner standing on first. So 2 quick outs and then 2 hard hit balls brings up George. Umpire says you got to touch the rubber. Crosdale says, my bad, it was a ball anyway. Knuckler off the heart of the plate. Lined up the middle. Brannigan with it. Steps on 2 to force out Lou. So George retired on the ground out up the middle, but 40 Deuce get on the board first. Menace coming up here in the bottom of the first. So bottom 1 for Menace, it's going to be Matt Scott, Dan Higgins, Popcorn, Roach, Greg Yursich, Joe Brannigan, Chris Camarillo, Brian Crosdale, Cree Costello, Sal Ramondo, and George Guzman. Actually did not get any positions for 40 Deuce, so we're going to work it out as we go. Got about half of the defense filled in right now. See Greg Flowers checking in over on Facebook. My guy Papalos checking in. Hello. That one hit hard from Matt over past short. Brings up Higgins. That one catches the plate. Hammered up the middle into center. Scott, big turnaround first, bobbled in center. Sorry, big turnaround second. Higgins off the bag. The big rig caught in between, waving Matt home. Says go, go, go. A little frustrated with himself. Gave himself up, though, to get the run across. So call that a productive single to tie things back up at 1. A little difficult for big rigs to stop that quick, so I get it. I get it. So 1 down, 1-1 here in the first for Popcorn. Lifted into left. Thor is there, makes the catch for out number 2. Los, I agree with 1/3 of that list, and it ain't me and G. I'll tell you that much. So 2 down here for Roach. Rocking the Led Zeppelin t-shirt. Had a nice conversation with him before the game. But, you know, a Tuesday at softball beats a Tuesday most other places. He said, how fortunate are we to get to play this game that we love? Takes strike 1. Lifted to the left side, foul, off the fence, over the fence. That one well short of the plate. Hit hard over short. Thor cuts it off before it gets too deep. Roach hustling into second. The throw coming in. Winslow with it, applies the tag. But Roach with a stand-up double brings up Greg Yursich. So Roach gets the runner over at 2. Greg chops that one over to Lou. Lou fires to Hector at first for out number 3, but a single and a pickle allows Matt Scott to score, ties things up at 1. It's 1-1 as we head to the top of the second. So top 2 here for 40 Deuce. It's Hector, Winslow, and Montez. And then Jonathan and Nava. So 6, 7, 8 coming up here. Both teams with a run in the first. That one off Crosdale's foot, kind of kicks it to himself. Easy recovery for out number 1. Good play there from Brian Crosdale. So here's Winslow. Just missed. Blue says that came around the plate. Crosdale says, you sure? Winslow hits that off the end of the bat over to Brannigan for out number 2. So here's the right fielder, Montez. Of course, Menace was the winner of our play-in series to be the final entrant into this year's No Glove Nationals. Had quite the run. So that one lifted to the left side. Yursich over the shoulder, makes the catch for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down there for 40 Deuce. Nothing doing in the top of the second. Menace coming right up. So as you can see on our schedule, after this one, we've got Born Divine and Wolfpack. And then next week, we've got a Dirty 38s doubleheader with BTA and Iron on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we've got Los Barachos and Splash, and then Hardway and Ribs. So the season is almost over, but we are not slowing down until the bitter end. Whole lot of softball left here at the Park District of Forest Park before fall ball begins. That's right, fall ball is back. We took last year off for our field renovation project. Of course, thank God we did that, because the amount that it rained during the tournament, if we had the old fields and no drainage system, we might still be playing No Glove Nationals. Probably be the 2025 and 2026 No Gloves. But we made it. We got through it. So it's going to be Joe, Chris, and Brian. Joe hits that up the middle to Winslow. Winslow makes the catch for out number 1. Blue rocking the designer shades. Future so bright. So left fielder Chris Camarillo. So 2-1 count here. I think Chris thought that Blue called that one a strike. That one between short center and second. Good ball there from Chris. Montez gets it in. A 1-out single brings up Crosdale. Just 1-out runner on first for the Menace pitcher. Nice pickoff look there from George. Little no-look sidearm. Right on the money, but Chris got back in plenty of time. Ball deep there to Brian. And there's ball 4. So a single and a walk brings up Cree Costello. Menace shortstop looking to break the tie with one swing here. Sal Ramondo on deck. George Guzman in the hole. Cree hits that over to second, takes a high hop off the second baseman. They force Brian out at 2. So good job sticking with it. Brings Chris over to third. Cree trades places with Brian at first. 2 down here for Sal. Yeah, Greg, I'm partial to this view just because you can see everything. Could probably get a decent wide angle look from down on the field with this GoPro, but I just really like this hard cam. Sal flips that in to right. Montez there makes the catch for out number 3. So 2 stranded there for Menace. We are still deadlocked at 1. We head to the top of the third. 40 Deuce coming up. So top 2, 9, 10, 1 here for 40 Deuce. Jonathan, Nava, and Thor. Lifts that one in to right. Over to George, makes the catch for out number 1. Juan, I do not believe so. We were trying to figure that out yesterday with our softball guy. I believe at the end of all this, there's another week or so. I just show up on Mondays and Tuesdays. Let's be real. So here's Nava, the second baseman. Made a nice play to stick with a ball that carried up his chest and kicked away. Forced Crosdale out at second, a big second out. Nice catch there at third from Greg Yursich for out number 2. So we're back up with Thor. Hits that hard to short. Cree with it. Fires across. No step necessary. 3 up, 3 down there again. So the last 2 innings, Menace has been locked in defensively. 40 Deuce unable to get anything rolling. We head to the bottom of the third, all tied up at 1. So I do believe I've cracked the code of the 40 Deuce defense. Thor, Tony, and Montez in the outfield. Lou, Josh, Winslow, Nava, Hector on the infield. Jonathan behind the dish. George on the mound. Here for Menace, it's 11-1-2. Guzman, Scott, and Higgins. Shadow's not too bad today, but just saw Lou turn his head to the left a little bit and that sun shining right in his eyes. So we'll see if there's any sharply hit balls to the left side. If that affects him at all, Josh plays that one back on a hop, fires across, and gets George for out number 1. We are moving right along back to the top of the order with Matt Scott. As my guy Donnie Rollins called him, professional hitter Matt Scott. Professionally disposes of that one into right field for a 1-out single. Yeah, Greg, to your point earlier, I often refer to this as the best seat in the house, and I genuinely believe that. Hard to beat this view, all of field 1. You've got field 2 in the distance. The sky looks amazing. That one hit hard off Lou's hand. He knocks it down. Big Rig beats it out at first. Lou got to it, looked up, and decided to hold it as that one kicked pretty far away. So 2 hard hit balls from Higgins there. Runner in front of him. Popcorn rips that one down the line. Lou gets it in fair territory, steps on third, throws to first, and completes the double play. Lou fired up. Nice play there from the 40 Deuce third baseman. We are still tied up at 1 as we head already to the top of the 4th. Might be one of the more anticlimactic double plays I've seen. Wasn't sure if the umpire was going to call that one fair or foul as Lou right on the line, but secured it in fair territory, stepped on third, and threw a strike over to first. Forty Deuce guys looking at the footprints over from Lou, so they are trying to decipher what I was as well as Josh hits that one over to third. Greg fires to Matt for out number 1. Center fielder Tony stepping in here. Tony, Lou, and George. Strike one. That one up the middle, just past Brannigan into center. Sal throws it into Higgins at 2. Higgins flips it over to first. So runner on first, 1 out for the 40 Deuce third baseman Lou, who made a nice play. Our guy Ron checking in from North Carolina. Roach fakes a throw over to first. That one finds the outside corner. Nice pitch from Crosdale. Lou pops that one up on the infield. Higgins calls off Brannigan to make the catch for out number 2. Learned before this game that Higgins and Brannigan used to be college baseball opponents. Then they decided to join forces. Here they are on Menace, making a formidable duo up the middle. Deep fly ball to left. Chris under for the catch. Out number 3. Nothing doing for 40 Deuce, but they did not send 3 to the plate that inning. So some positive growth in the top of the 4th. Still unable to get anything across. Knotted up at 1. Menace coming up in the bottom 4. So Roach, Greg, and Joe hits that one hard, just past Winslow's outstretched hand for a leadoff single. So runner over at first. Yurcich takes a strike. Rolls that one over to short. Flip to 2, just wide of Winslow. Greg heading over to second. They're going to wave the runner home. Throws coming in. Good throw, but the catcher, Jonathan, playing about a foot in front of the base. Unable to apply the tag as the throw came in. Greg standing on third. Taylor made double play ball. Unfortunately, Josh just threw it a bit wide of second. That was all the time that George needed to come around and score. So Greg standing on third. Menace take the lead. Joe Brannigan in with a chance to add another. Hard off the pitcher's hand over to short. Low throw at 1. Hector can't pick it. Greg waiting on the throw would have come in to score very likely anyway. So 3-1 now. Nobody out. Runner on first for Chris. You are correct, Peoria Matt. Real nice base running. Bit of a wide turn around third as he was getting waved by Didi. Made that play at home much closer. 3 balls here to Chris. Takes a strike in the back of the zone. Lifted over second into center. Tony up with it. Throws to Winslow. First and second, nobody out. Crosdale hits that one to second. Nava throws. Winslow can't squeeze it. There have been a couple issues over at second base. Whether it's the throw going to it or securing the catch himself. Nava with a good feed over to 2. Winslow just could not squeeze it. So Chris over to third. Brian standing at second. 40 Deuce is going to have a little meeting of the minds. 4-1 now, still nobody out here for Cree Costello. Didi going to have a word with him. So they're going to keep George out there. Cree chops that one up the middle to Winslow. Winslow thinking about home, throws to first. So 1 out. Crosdale moves to third. Menace with another across, but 40 Deuce able to get that important first out. Ramondo takes a strike. Chops that one up the middle. Winslow with it again. Throws to first. Crosdale holds at 3. So good bounce back there for the 40 Deuce short center fielder. Able to secure the first 2 outs after a couple tough plays over at 2. George pops that one up on the infield. George to George. They can't make the pick at 1. Hector could not come up with it. So Crosdale still at third. He's shrugging. They're wondering why he's not at home. He said he's just kind of shrugging right now. Said the play was right in front of me. I don't know. So back to the top with Matt Scott, first and third, 2 down. Scott says, Brian, when I hit this one, just go ahead and come home. So 3-1 count here to Scott. Take strike 2. Butter checking in from Arkansas. Howdy. And then our guy, Steve Burke, says, Matty Ice. Scott ropes that one foul for strike number 3. So that's going to end the inning, but Menace able to get 4 across, make it a 4-run ball game. We head to the top of the 5th. 40 Deuce coming right up. So 5-1, top 5. Looks like we're going to have a change. Sammy for George. Sammy's going to go into right field. Thank you, Roach, for that correction. So top 5, 6, 7, 8, Hector, Winslow, and Montez here for 40 Deuce. Lifted into left. Chris a few steps in, freezes and squeezes for out number 1. That's Lou you hear right there telling Winslow, come on, let's go. We got to score something. Chasing 4 after a 4-run inning for Menace on a couple of defensive miscues. Little deep. Winslow hits that into left. Chris hustling in. Squeezes for out number 2. Steve, if you're still here, I did get your text, and I do plan on texting you who wins this one afterwards. Just using my phone for the little score bug on the bottom left of your screen, so unfortunately I could not answer. I'm afraid to mess things up more than I usually do. So 2 down here for Montez. Rocking the safety orange. Illegal pitch there. Also finds the plate. Someone from West Side Outlaws just hit one all the way up to the fence. That one hit over to Cree. Cree can't come up with it. The short hop ate him up. Kicked off just to his side, so a 2-out single brings up Jonathan. Mentally, I answered your text. Actually, I'm an idiot. I probably could have just said okay for my watch. I'm going to do it right now, just to complete the cycle. That one lifted into center. Ramondo in. That one falls right at his feet. Throw coming in to home. Roach fires to 2. So Jonathan standing on second and third, 2 down. Big opportunity here for 40 Deuce and Nava. So second and third, 2 outs, 40 Deuce chasing 4 right now. The 2 runners in scoring position. Huge in top of the 5th. Nava hits that to Greg over at third, tips it to himself, squeezes it before Cree can. An important third out there, keeps the 2 runners in scoring position, maintains the 4-run lead for Menace. They're coming up as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Bottom 5, we've got Higgins, Popcorn, and Roach coming up for Menace. Higgins ropes that one down the line. Just foul. Couple inches, literally a couple inches. Didi says, "Oh, come on. No, I know that was foul." The umpire follows up with, "Yeah, it was on that side of the line." Didi goes, yeah. So Higgins hoping to straighten that one out. He was hitting some lead softballs off the bat during warm-ups. Hits that hard up the middle. Winslow can't come up with it. The leadoff single brings up popcorn. Fan favorite popcorn. Let's be real about that one. Ropes that one down the line in front of Thor. Thor up with it. Throws over to Josh at short. Higgins up to second. So first and second, nobody out. And a start reminiscent of the fourth where Menace got 4. Roach up here. Just missed deep. Blue had to think about it for a second. Roach hits that to Winslow. Winslow can't squeeze it. Steps on 2. Throws to 1. Higgins. They forced Matt Scott out at second. So Higgins wisely held on that one. Roach saying he smacked that ball down for the double play. Umpire saying he just dropped it. Winslow's had some trouble catching it today, so that hard hit ball definitely difficult to catch, but a good job by Higgins holding at 2. As they're trying to get Winslow back in position, but yeah, Higgins could have easily been tripled off as Winslow stepped on 2 for out number 1, through to 1 for out number 2. Over to short. Josh with it. Plays it on the short hop. Good stretch at 1. Umpire says he came off the bag. Higgins coming around to score. Greg took an aggressive turn to second. And then he got tagged out. So Higgins does come in to score, add another run on the board for Menace. Greg with the aggressive turn over 1. Gets tagged out. Good play at first from Hector to get him. All sorts of shenanigans abound. But we head to the top of the 6th. 40 Deuce down 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So here for 40 Deuce, top of the order. It's Thor, Josh, and Tony. Menace still trying to talk with the umpire about that ball up the middle to Winslow. That he kind of locked the hands up and didn't squeeze it, knocked it down. Chris saying some umpires call that. Umpire saying he hit it hard and he just couldn't catch it. To each their own, but a big double play nonetheless for 40 Deuce as they're chasing for that one. Hit hard into center. Sal a couple steps in, makes the catch. Best way to deal with a wall of adversity is to run straight through that B word like the Kool-Aid man, and Menace hoping to do just that. That one over Joe's head. Throw goes to first. So Josh gets a courtesy at 1. Thor switches places. Tony takes a strike. Just missed deep. That one over short center once again into center. Ramondo makes the throw into second, but Thor able to get back. Cree grabbed it and a good stretch to try and apply the tag, but a good ball from Tony puts runners at first and second with 1 out here, top of the 6th. 40 Deuce chasing 5. Big opportunity for the cleanup hitter, Lou. Takes a strike. Lou lifts that one into left center. Chris can't cut it off. Sal gets to it. 2 are going to score here for 40 Deuce. Throw goes to second. Joe tries to scoop and sweep. So Lou with a 2 RBI double. Cuts it to 3. 1 out here for the pitcher, George. Strike there from Crosdale. Lifted over to right. Sammy in on it. Lou is going to run into third. Higgins is going to get time. So first and third. Good ball there off the bat of George. A lot of green space over along that line. Thor is going to run again. Yeah, Matt, the business has definitely picked up here. Hector hits that into foul territory, just over Scott's head. Rolls that one up the middle to Brannigan, flips to Cree, Cree over to Scott, bingo, bango, bongo, that's a double play, so 2 runs across for 40 Deuce, but they're able to end the bleeding with a nice double play there. Brannigan to Costello to Scott, so we head to the bottom of the 6th. Menace up 3. Thought Brannigan was going to take that one, step on second and fire to first, but with Cree's momentum coming across, that was a close play at first. The right idea from the short center fielder to feed it to the shortstop. Let him do the rest of the work. So he started a nice double play. He's starting the bottom of the 6th here. It's Joe Brannigan, Chris Camarillo, and Brian Crosdale for Menace. High fly ball into left. Thor can't make the catch over the shoulders. That one kicks away off the hands. Brannigan around second, heading to third. He's going to have himself a stand-up triple. Good effort from Thor. He got to it, but he spent that last half inning pinch running for just about everyone on 40 Deuce. I was going to say at least the legs are nice and loose, but might be a little fatigued after all that running. Chris pushes that to Nava over at 2, gets the out. Hector fires home just in case. So 7-3 here. Base is empty for Crosdale. Yeah, Steve, I agree. Cree is one of those guys that just every time the ball's hit to him, you're confident he's A, coming up with it, and B, firing a strike over to first as Crosdale rolls that one up the middle to Winslow. Winslow with time as Crosdale slow out of the box gets out number 2. He also filled out the lineup sheet for me before the game, and I can read all the names and positions. So for me, that's legendary. Down the line, off the bat of Cree, dumped just in front of Thor. 2-out single. So we're going to get a pinch hitter. So Jaden's going to hit for Sal. Appreciate you, Brian. Just missed. Inside. Alex, I have no clue, and I do not have anyone over there I can text to get the score. My apologies. I do know that I've seen a couple of moon balls from West Side Outlaws, so I know they've at least got 2 runs. Full count here to Jaden. Pop fly. Over short. Thor comes in, had to cover a lot of the ground, but makes the catch for out number 3. So Menace with a 4-run lead. 40 Deuce needs 4 to stay alive here as we head to the top of the 7th. Caroline. So here for 40 Deuce, it's going to be Winslow, Montez, and Jonathan. Roses came on during no gloves, and I was trying to keep it somewhat profesh, and I had no less than 3 people in chat disappointed that I didn't drop a Caroline, so hopefully they know I was listening. West Side Outlaws losing 14-2. Thank you, Toon, for that one. So there you go, Alex, asking you shall receive. I like to think I'm a man of the people, but the people are the people of the people, and he came through and gave us exactly what we were looking for. So 14-2 over on field 2. Sounds like Hardway is up. Winslow hits that one back to Crosdale, down to a knee. Makes the catch for out number 1. So here's Montez. Chasing 12 is tough, especially after I just mentioned that I've seen 2 extremely hard hit balls from the team losing, and those apparently are the only 2 that they had. Steve, I'll play wherever you need me, coach. Got to say, it's very rare that a hat comfortably fits my head, but you hooked it up, my friend. I appreciate it. All love, all love. Lifted into left center. Chris towards the gap, makes the catch. Up along the hip. I'm a lefty, so I'm limited where I could play, but I definitely don't think I could beat Fowler in a wrestling match for 1B, so I might just be cheerleader. I'm a real good morale guy. Illegal pitch to start things off to Jonathan. Strike finds the back of the zone. That one missed. No signal from the umpire. Roach immediately turned around and said, "What was wrong with that?" Oh, okay. Umpire called that one illegal. All right. Hit into left, right at Chris's feet. Knocks that one down, but keeps it in front of him. So Nava here, if he can reach, will bring it back to the top of the order. Thor waiting on deck. Hits that over to Greg, down to a knee, pops up, fires to Scott. Scott with the pick for out number 3. So Menace defeats 40 Deuce 7-3 in 7. This game flew by. So Menace victorious over 40 Deuce 7-3 in game number 1. We're going to end this stream right here, get everything turned over, and be back to you live in about 10 or so minutes. I got to go grab a glizzy from concessions. Stay fueled up for game number 2. It's going to be a good one between Born Divine and Wolfpack. So if you were only joining us for game number 1, thank you for hanging out with me, Adam Cumby, live at Field 1. If you're going to be back for game number 2, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Just got to get all our title cards and everything turned over, and then we will be right back with more Tuesday night men's A-League softball action live from the Park District.